Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another G.I. Joe Mission Critical expansion. This is for Cobra Ascendant. So this is going to give us 2 new Joes, as well as a new boss and nemesis. A pair of nemesis would be the correct term. So this is going to be a really fun one to go through. We're going to get Serpentor, who's definitely a fan favorite for a lot of people, as well as Xomat and Tamox, the twins, which are going to be an interesting new mechanic the game has developed. Then for the Joes, we're going to hop into Bazooka and Rock and Roll. What's really cool about the way this is this is originally obviously based off the Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid system. It's now just the Guardian system. What they do is they kind of try and give every Joe a single card that kind of puts them into like a team. So they have like one shared card, usually for every 5. The base game had 5. Then they get an expansion set of 2 characters and 3 characters, and then 2 characters and 3 characters. So that formed 2 more teams. This should be the start of the next set of teams. So we have 2 characters. So high expectations that the next expansion will have 3 more Joes in it, which will finish off kind of the rest of the team. And we'll switch their cards when we get there. We are also going to get a look at Vehicle Pack number 4. This was a pre-order bonus. But obviously, since the pre-order is passed, if you're watching this, it will eventually be available on the Renegade Game Studios website, our online store, so you can go ahead and purchase this later. So we'll just see what's in there. I love that they have these extra little promo cards you can pick up. Are they necessary to play the game? Nope, but they're going to add some more content, which is really fun. Let's head in and look at what we have here. So we have, we already kind of read that part on the back there. We're going to get our figures, our things. So integrating content expansion, we have Tamox and Xomat are going to have special abilities. We'll talk about them when we actually get to them. But let's go ahead and hop into our brand new Joes. We're going to look at Bazooka first. Bazooka, not Bazooka Joe though. Alright, let's see if we can get this to focus in on him a little bit more. Alright, he was always one of them fun ones because he had on the football uniform, like the jersey and like his helmet. So there's Bazooka, David L. Hatching Bolden. Yeah, his big giant missile, but I always love that he always had like a football jersey on, number 14. He's got his big helmet. And you kind of see, even though he's carrying a giant bazooka, his arm outstretched like that is sort of him doing the, a tackle move. I can't do what the exact name of it's called off the top of my head now, but yeah, I love that he's doing like, to push a guy out of his way. So even though he's a ranged guy, he does do a lot of melee stuff too. There's a little rocket. His backpack has rockets, and then a water canteen. So let's hop in and see what Bazooka actually does. I'm going to drop my camera down a little bit. And then we have Bazooka's cards. So there's our little expansion symbol, the explosion. I have to back this up just a tad. Actually, there we go. If we do that, it'll be good. Alright, so he's the Missile Specialist. Once per battle, after any hero defeats an enemy card with an attack, deal 1 hit to an enemy, a card of your choice adjacent to the target. Nice, so a free hit. Once per battle. That can be very helpful to finish off some guys. Either finish off maybe a previous guy that didn't get hurt, or start on the next guy right away. Can't argue with that. Once per turn, getting a free extra hit, or once per battle. It's not the most powerful attack, but an extra hit can sometimes be the difference between beating him and not beating him. Alright. We have 2 copies of Arcing Shot. 1 cost attack for 3 shields. It does 2 dice worth of damage. You may ignore the guard keyword while choosing a target for this attack. Add 1 dice to this attack for each enemy adjacent to the target with the guard keyword. Oh, that's sweet. So not only do we get attack guard cards, but then we're also punishing them even more if they're guarding a bunch of stuff. So that if they start like earlier in the game and there's still a bunch of things there, you can definitely take out a bunch more. That's pretty cool. We have 2 copies of Explosive Rounds. 0 cost attack with 2 shields. Does 2 dice worth of damage. For each missed result you roll during this attack, deal 1 hit to an enemy card adjacent to your target. He's definitely spreading the damage around. Makes sense. He's shooting bazookas, right? I mean, that's what his name is, so be very helpful. He's not going to do a ton of damage. He's not like rolling 5-6 dice necessarily, but the fact that you can spread some damage out is very helpful. And again, here, if you can add more dice to his attack, either he's just going to do straight up damage, and anytime he does miss with them, he's going to be able to hit some more guys. And then remember, adjacent's not just left and right, it's also up and down. So if like you're attacking like a boss card on the top row, you might be able to hit a foot soldier card on the bottom, or vice versa. 2 copies of Timed Payload. 0 cost attack for 2 shields. There's lots of attacks in here. 2 dice. Attach this card to the target. When that enemy card resolves, deal 1 damage to it. Oh, that's neat too, right? So you already did a hit it for damage. And then you can possibly finish it off. And then you could use that to trigger with his Missile Specialist. Oh look, we defeated an enemy card. Although, so I'm not sure if that was... I'm not sure if that works or not. With an attack, because I don't know if that's technically considered an attack. It's an attack card. I would count it. But yeah, that's neat, because then you can like go ahead and deal 1 extra damage to finish him off. So you don't have to like... So if you hit something early on, you always have a way to maybe finish them off a bit. That's pretty cool. We have 2 copies of All Out of Bubblegum. So that means it's time to kick ass. 0 cost reaction for 1 shield. Play this card when there is no energy in the shared pool. Reduce the cost of the next vehicle by 2. Interesting. So it has a very specific time you can play it. You have to have no energy in the pool, but the fact it's going to make your vehicles cheaper, so this could be very well for playing a big card, or someone else playing a big card, and then now you can prep up by having a vehicle a lot cheaper, maybe even free. That'd be very cool. Alright, then he has his special weapon, 1 cost of the Big Bazooka. 3 cost maneuver for 3 shields. During the next hero's turn of this battle, instead of playing attack cards, perform 3 attacks with 3 dice each. Interesting. So it's going to take your 1 turn to use it, right? Because unless you have something, another ability or something that lets you play an additional card, or play a free maneuver or something like that. But assuming you don't, during your turn you play this card, you're not going to do anything this turn, but then the next turn you're going to do 3 attacks with 3 dice. So basically you're getting 3 dice for this attack, 3 for the next one, and then an extra additional attack. It could be a good way to like help save up cards. Maybe if you're down to just fighting foot soldiers, this could be a great way to like, oh, I don't need to spend all my energy in my big cards, where you can save up your energy for some of the bigger cards doing something else. That could be pretty cool. And then the team card that we were talking about earlier. So both him and Rock and Roll have this, and then assuming everything goes the same way it's been before, we will get 3 more characters who will also have this card. So this is Riding Shotgun. 0 cost reaction for 1 shield. Play this card after a hero uses a vehicle card. The next time a hero performs an attack, they may divide the hits from that target amongst any number of targets. Cool. So we've seen stuff like this in other ones where like just spread your damage out, but this one's specifically letting you do it after someone used a vehicle. So the next attack after that, so you have to use a vehicle first, but then you're going to gain the extra bonus from being able to spread out. And again, just like all the rest of his cards. It's pretty cool. So I still wonder if the next set is going to maybe also be a little bit more vehicle-focused characters. Be kind of cool. But yeah, that's Bazooka. So that's some really neat stuff. He's going to do some good damage, spread it out very well, which is really fun. Alright, let's hop into our next Joe. We got Rock and Roll. So here's Rock and Roll's picture, just for as a reference. So he's a machine gunner. So he's got his big old machine gun there. Bullets strapped everywhere. I love the bullets laying over his arm. His bandoliers. Yeah, he's just gonna start unloading. So I feel like we're gonna get a lot of big damage power out of him is my guess. Alright, so rock and roll. Craig S. McConnell, machine gunner. Once per battle, when a hero ability will allow a hero to reroll any number of dice, they may instead add 2 dice to their attack. Ooh, interesting. So this could potentially be if someone's like, hey, I'm gonna play my one character has an ability that lets you re-roll your dice. You know, cool, but what if you roll really good? This is kind of neat, because then you can actually just use that to add 2 more dice to the attack. Or if you like to hit misses, that might be very viable too. So I don't want to always jump back too terribly much. But if we combined it with this, it says explosive rounds. For each miss you roll, deal 1 damage to an adjacent target. So we're rolling 2 dice. So what if you played something on him that let him re-roll dice? So some ability says, hey, the next attack you can re-roll a dice, and then instead trigger that on top of it, and now they had 2 extra dice. Now you're rolling 4 dice. So either you're going to do massive damage to your one target, or potentially get misses and spread more damage out. That's kind of a cool combo. I'm sure there's lots of others. We have 2 copies of Rapid Fire. 0 cost attack for 2 shields. Does 2 dice worth of damage. You may reroll any number of dice during this attack. Perfect. Works right with that. Right? So you can, an ability is going to reroll his dice. You can instead trigger his main ability and add 2 extra dice. Hey, I rolled 4 hits, right? 2 doubles. Instead of re-rolling any of them, let me roll 2 extra dice. Sweet, now I got 8 hits. You know, so that's pretty cool. We have 2 copies of Focus Fire. 1 cost attack with 3 shields. There's 3 dice of damage. The next time any hero performs an attack, they may roll any number of dice. Perfect. So there's lots of combos with this. Neat. 2 copies of Rapid Reload. 0 cost reaction for with 1 shield. Play this card after any hero resolves an attack with an energy cost of 0. Gain 1 energy and return that card to their hand. Ooh, that's fun. There's a lot of 0 cost cards. The fact is now you get it back, and you gain 1 energy, so that can help you, definitely help you do some other stuff. Plus we had with, Bazooka, we had the 1 reaction. Since play this card only when there's no energy, and it does the vehicle, so you could play that. It's not an attack though, so it wouldn't work for that. But if you use the attack to empty your thing, use that reaction to make the next vehicle cheaper, then play this after you play an attack. Yeah, you could trigger some really cool combos. We have 2 copies of Lay on the Trigger. Just that Rapid Fire. 0 cost. All those cards been 0 so far? Oh, he said 1 cost. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was like, that'd be crazy. Attack with 2 shields. 1 die. Add 1 dice attack for each different named attack card in your discard pile. Oh, that's cool. This could get abusive if they ever add, if they ever implement any rules for like mixing and matching stuff. Like Power Rangers has 1 mode called Legendary Ranger mode where you can actually mix multiple Ranger decks together. So you could potentially have, instead of 6 different cards, you could have all different cards. This could end up becoming even harder, because you can actually change all your different attack cards, make all his cards attacks, make them all different. That'd be interesting if you played with something like that idea. His signature weapon is the heavy machine gun. 3 cost attack with 3 shields. That has 6 dice on it. That's nuts. You may reroll any number of dice during this attack. Wow. And again, if you roll pretty decent, don't get a lot of misses, you could opt to, again, use his ability to add 2 dice instead of doing 8 dice. That could be pretty crazy. And then he has riding shotgun as well. So we get that for using it. Black next hero uses a vehicle the next time a hero performs an attack, and you divide the hits from that amongst any number of targets. So yeah, imagine using that. Play a vehicle, right? And then the next time you perform an attack, now perform this attack. Now you're doing 6 dice to any number of targets. Time with his ability, 8 dice for any number of targets. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that could be very, yeah, that could be a very good combo. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and look at the 2 vehicles we got in this set. I have to zoom my camera back up a little bit here. We got the Quick Strike all-terrain missile launcher. There's a Bazooka driving it. For 2 costs. So says use this card at the start of a battle to roll 3 dice and gain that much energy. Nice. Gaining extra energy back isn't bad. Then the other one we have is another 2 costs, is the LCV Recon Sled, the low crawl vehicle. I remember this toy so much. This little tiny guy just hangs on there. So another 2 costs. Use this card when a hero performs an attack. That hero may either add 1 die to that attack or reroll any number of dice. Again, this actually works very well for both of these guys, because we like Rock and Roll likes to reroll dice, and he has some good effects that kind of can work with that. Or Bazooka could use very well, potentially rerolling his dice. He only has 2 of them on most of his cards, or adding that extra dice. Plus, then again, he has that card that is reduce the next vehicle by 2, which would make both of these free. And then the fact is their riding shotgun ability, since after they play a vehicle, they can divide stuff. And since you have cheap vehicles, you can play the 1 card, make it free, have a free vehicle, play it, spread that attack out. Some really cool combos there. Awesome. That's really neat. We only got 2 vehicles in this set, a little bit minor set. Alright, next up we are going to look at our Nemesis. So we have our Nemesis there. I'm going to drop this back down a little bit. We have Tamox and Xomat. So these guys actually play very differently. They act together during battle. Place 1 card from each of their decks into each slot of the combat sequence. During the enemy turn, after Tamox card resolves, immediately resolve a Xomat card on the same slot. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna back this up just a bit. Sorry, keep moving my camera, but that way we can look at the instructions. Are treated as lieutenants for all gameplay purposes, except when they're able to share the same. Except that they're able to share the same location, and while they're in the same location, they count as 1 figure for the purpose of figure limits. Oops, knock that down. We'll just set that down there for a moment. While they're deployed, keep their deployment cards nearby for reference. At the start of the battle, if both are at the same location, place Tamox's cards in the combat sequence as normal for a lieutenant, and then place Xomat's cards in the combat sequence in the same row. During each enemy turn after resolving a Tamox, resolve Xomat card beneath it. Yeah, so put Tamox on top, put Xomat underneath, so you're going to draw 2 for each. So they're going to be very deadly that way. When a hero performs a task, they may choose to target either the Tamox card or the Xomat card. When either card suffers hits equal to its health value, it is defeated and flipped face down. Excess damage may be placed on the other enemy card. So like for example here, we have a 3 and a 1. So if you click out the 1 first, then you did 2 damage, you could place the next one on the 3. Same thing, we have a 3 and a 1, or we have a 2 and a 2, so 4 damage would take out both of them, or any of those 3. Xomat cards in the same section of the combat sequence are considered adjacent to each other for a purpose of guard, keywords, and other game effects. So yeah, that means this guard card guards this one, and this one. And then this guard card guards this one, and this one. So you can't attack either of these until you take out this guard or that guard. And then once those are out, then all the rest are free game. But it's only the top one that's going to be... so the other one below, if it has guard, probably also guards it as well. When the heroes defeat 4 cards from either deck, that enemy is defeated. Remove their figure from the location, return it to the supply. The enemy's card is no longer placed in the combat sequence during future battles. Once the heroes defeat 4 cards from both of them, the twins have been defeated. Remove their figures and all remaining foot soldier figures from the current location. Return them to the supply. The foot soldiers are not considered to be defeated. The heroes gain normal rewards for defeating a lieutenant. So yeah, it's a very interesting way to play them because you're going to team up together. And you have to try and beat them that way. So again, referencing back to Power Rangers, because again, it's the original system of the game, is they had a mode, they added a thing eventually so you could have 2 guys on the same location, and then you drew 2 of one character's cards and 2 of the other. But then if you beat one, and the other one just played like normal. It's a way to have guys that kind of buddied up together work. And I assumed that's how these guys were going to play. But the fact is they turned around and they're like, nope, they're actually going to play at the same exact time and do double attacks. Is a really neat effect. But what also that means is I think that their health is a lot lower than other cards. Most other cards have some like 3s in lieutenants, have some like 4s, 5s, maybe some 6s. These guys I think max out at 3 for any of their cards. So they're not going to be overly powerful. They're not as hard to defeat each card, but the fact is you have to deal with 2 of them. So let's look at our miniatures. So we're going to start off with Tamox. And how do we know it's Tamox? Because I probably have this wrong, and this is probably not Tamox. This is Xomat. So he has the shoulder on the left side. Or rather, his right side. Looking at it's on the left. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And then the other one will be the other direction. He has some Cobra knee pads, which are really crazy. Big Cobra emblem. Very cool there. So we're going to set him down for the moment. And then let's grab the other one. Let's look at the other one right away. So this is Tamox. You can see he has a sash and everything going the other way. So if they're standing next to each other, there's one's one side, one's the other. Very interesting. Very cool. Also, they gave him different poses. It would have kind of neat if they just gave him the exact same pose, just reversed. That would have been, I would have been 100% fine with that. I'm just going to set him up here so we can kind of look at both of them together. Yeah, that's definitely cool. Same gun. Alternate arms. Well, it's kind of neat if they were standing up together and they could have been, like, holding hands. I don't know if they ever do that, but that'd be kind of funny. Alright, let's jump back into the cards. We're going to look at Tamox's stuff first, because he's listed first on the card. So we're going to have 3 copies of Twin Strike. Deal 2 damage to 2 different heroes twice. This damage cannot be reduced. So that's not terrible, except it is 4 damage, but he has to deal with it twice. So if you draw a 2 or a 3, you're fine for the first hit, but then you draw a 1, then you have to draw a second card. But 2 health isn't bad. Again, they're more in line with like a foot soldier, but they're still going to be a pain because you have to deal with a second card. 2 copies of High Strike, kicking Bazooka in the face. Who has guard up? 3 health and guard. Each hero must discard 1 card from the top of their deck. 2 copies of Eye for an Eye. Trying to see if we have any. We already have it's Scarlet and Gun-Ho there, or Roadblock, I believe. I always have to see if we have one of the new Joes. It might hint who's in the next set. 1 health, guard, and passive. When this card is defeated, drain 1 energy for each Xomat card that has not been defeated. So this might be one that you want to get rid of because of the guard, but you also might not want to for the draining effect. And then we have Double Team, 3 health, passive. When this card is in play, deal 2 damage for each time a Xomat card resolves. And this should be done, you definitely want to get rid of as quickly as possible. Unless you've already defeated Xomat, then you don't really have to worry about it, right? So depending on when it shows up. Alright, there we go. Alright, now let's attack Xomat's cards. So he has 3 copies of Twin Shot. 2 health with guard, drain 2 energy, deal 2 damage to each hero. So it's not as bad as the other one. The other one does 2 damage and 2 damage. This just does, but it only does it to 2 guys. This does it to everybody. So if there's more than 2 guys, it might do the same amount. We have 2 copies of Low Blow. 3 health. Each hero must discard 1 card from the bottom of their deck. So one discards 1 from the top, 1 discards 1 from the bottom. You can definitely see how these could be bad if the same ones got mixed together, right? 2 copies of a Tooth for a Tooth. When this card is defeated, deal 3 damage to a number of hero cards equal to the number of Tamox cards that have not been defeated. So yeah, his is going to do extra damage for not being defeated. And then we have another Double Team. Yeah, so these guys are pretty interesting. Do I have... I'm always misplacing stuff. There it is. I want to do this. Let's do this really quick. Let's back this camera out just a little. And then let's look at this. So I just want to compare these cards together just really quickly. So for Tamox, we started off with Twin Strike. And here we have the Twin Shot. So, again, I'm throwing stuff on the ground here. Yeah, so just kind of like the cards are kind of very similar to each other. We have 2 damage to 2 different heroes twice, or 2 damage to each hero, but it drains your energy. So these are kind of like the comparable two. Then we had Low Blow and High Strike, again, kind of like opposites. So discard card from the top of their deck or discard from the bottom of the deck. Both are going to take cards off your deck, but one could mess your strategy up different than the other one. Then we had the Eye for an Eye and Tooth for a Tooth. Kind of interesting. It's kind of like 2 different sides of the battle. Like he's running towards them, and then now he's next to him. When this is defeated, drain 1 energy for each Xomat that has not been defeated, and the other one does 3 damage to a number of heroes equal to the number of cards. So one does one does the other. So very cool. And then we have the last one. We have the Double Trouble. And then if we look at the back of their cards, just kind of comparison. Also interesting is it looks like Xomat has a scar on his face, and I don't see one on Tamox. So that's kind of interesting. Although I don't think you can probably tell that on their miniatures at all. Not really. There is a scar on the one guy's face, but it's on the wrong side. So I wonder if it was just a blemish somewhere else. Very cool. That's what we have for those two. Now let's look at our final character for this set. Is the almighty Serpentor. Dun, dun, dun. I remember him from the G.I. Joe movie. Yeah, if you're ever screaming Cobra, the guy that has the full snake-themed costume has snakes around his snake mask, snake around his neck. Got a full picture of him here. There's good old Serpentor. Snakes all around his chest. His belt is a snake. Very cool. Alright, let's look at his cards here. So we're of course gonna just have his boss card, which is just gonna have his picture on there. Not gonna have anything extra special. Because it's just a boss card. But let's look at his abilities. He has 2 copies of Apex Strike. 3 health guard. Deal 4 damage to each hero. This card cannot be defeated until it has resolved. Ooh. So you can do damage to it. It just won't be defeated. This is a very interesting distinction to pay attention to. So you can go ahead and put 3 damage on it, but until it activates, it won't do anything. Or it won't go away. Cool. 2 copies of Boundless Ambition. Here is taking out the Cobra Commander. 4 health, deal 5 damage. Repeats this effect in additional time for each Serpentor card that has been defeated or discarded. Oh, so you kind of gotta focus on this one. Otherwise, that's gonna really hurt. Discard is also a very interesting phrase to put in there. 2 copies of Perfect Assault, 5 health and guard. Drain 3 energy, deal 3 damage to each hero. This damage cannot be prevented or reduced. That's gonna be a pain. Survival of the Fittest, we have 1 copy, 5 health. Remove half the foot soldiers from this location, rounded up. Deal 6 damage to an equal number of heroes. Oh, interesting. I actually don't mind to get rid of some of the foot soldiers to do damage. It's kind of a neat little mechanic. And then his last card is Drive for Conquest. 6 health, passive. Each other Serpentor card has +1 health. Each time a Serpentor card deals damage, increase that damage by 1. Yeah, that's mean. Each one's harder to do when they do extra damage. Yeah, that's not fun to play against. We didn't even see there versus that. Though Tamox and Xomat, their highest cost card was 3. His lowest one is 4. So you can definitely see the big difference between those. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that was our 3 extra characters. So if you're looking at picking up some more stuff for that, that's Cobra Ascendant. Got 2 new Joes, some extra vehicles, a new boss. More boss, more nemesis are always fun. Just did, you know, some stuff to change up, do some different things. Yeah, very cool. I also like that technically, although he is listed as a nemesis with the red, he's basically the same as any other lieutenant. Because like most nemesis usually have a thing where they target a specific character, but you can kind of almost push nemesis to, instead of just being like they're gonna focus on a character, as being kind of like mini boss or elite lieutenants, I guess. It's kind of cool. Alright, so the last thing we want to look at in this video is our vehicle pack number 4, which again, promo pack we can pick up if you want to get some extra vehicles, which are always fun to have. So in the bottom corner, there'll be a little wheel down there with a 4 to distinguish it from set 4. So we're going to start off with Crossfire, the fast attack vehicle. Was it like a souped up race car with guns on it? Little F1 racer. So 2 cost. Use this card to allow a hero to play a card as though they were in this location. Ooh, that's always fun to let somebody join from outside the battle. Because maybe they finished off their battle and they still have some cards in their hand, or maybe they haven't taken a battle but they're like, dude, you guys need some help, let me play this card to help you out. I always like that that's a neat mechanic there. We have the 3 cost Mobile Battle Bunker, Armored Personnel Carrier. Oh yeah, look at that guy, that's huge. Went from this little tiny like F1 car to like this big old giant tank. Move 1 hero from the command center to the location of this battle. Neat. So the other one lets you play a card. This one actually just lets you straight up move a guy. So that way they can play more than 1 card, maybe help take some damage. Oh crap, we're taking too much hits. We need a defender over here. Or we need this guy or that guy. That's pretty cool. For a 4 cost, we have Skystorm, the X-Wing Chopper. Yeah, it's got blades like a helicopter, but then it's got wings like an airplane. Interesting. And tons of missiles everywhere. Use this card after any hero plays an attack card with an energy cost of 1. That hero may immediately play that card an additional time without paying its energy cost. Ooh, that is fun. I just want to look at our Joes quick to see. So we could definitely do like Arcing Shot a second time, ignoring guard. And allowing 1 dice for each adjacent card with a card to help take out guard cards. So just between these guys, so he gets that one. That was for Bazooka and Rock and Roll had Focus Spire. Next time any hero performs an attack, they may roll any number of dice. Yeah, so basically playing this for 3, then get replay it for another 3 with the option of re-rolling. That's cool. Yeah, it's some new little effects there. Lots of synergy. And then the last one, we just got the 4 in this set, is we have the 6 cost Defiant Rolling Launch Complex. So it's actually this guy down here, not the shuttle, so it's neat. It's like a little shuttle launcher that can be mobilized. Use this vehicle at the end of the battle. After this battle, move up to 2 heroes. Up to 2 heroes may move to different up to 2 different heroes may move to locations of their choice. Oh, see, that's cool too. So we have the other one that lets him join a battle. This then lets you prep right away for the next one. Hey, we defeated this area. Let's move some guys around. We need to prep these. Okay, we have to fight this boss again. Let's move someone here to help them. Or we finished up this. Now let's move 2 guys. You go help this group. You guys go help this group, right? You maybe split up a bit. That's pretty cool. Or move a guy to the command center for free, possibly. That's always an option as well. Anything you get options to move guys around is really neat. So that's fun. That's our extra vehicle pack. So you can pick up these extra 4 vehicles. Give you some different options in gameplay to set up at the beginning of the game. Hope you guys enjoy these G.I. Joe Mission Critical videos. Hit me up in the comments if you'd like to see me do anything special. Compare different guys from different sets. Or villains, maybe. Some of the bosses. Vehicles, maybe show a vehicle video. Or whatever else. Comments about who's maybe coming up in the next expansion, who you'd like to see, anything like that. I'd like to hear from you guys. See you guys later. Bye.